This one right here is the new Samsung Galaxy S25, the cheapest and smallest out of the 3 new S models, and today we will check out everything this phone has to offer, and let's start with the unboxing. So like with every Samsung smartphone, there isn't too much inside of the box. There is of course the quick starting guide and a SIM pin. You will find a USB Type-C to USB Type-C charging cable, and of course there's the smartphone itself. Now I got the navy blue version, which looks awesome in my opinion, but you can also grab this phone in the colors icy blue, silver, mint, blue black, coral red and pink gold. So really a lot of different colors. You only see this with Samsung smartphones. As for the specs and the design, with the Galaxy S25, you will get a small smartphone which is just 14.6 centimeters long and 7 centimeters wide and only weighs in at 160 grams, which is super light for a smartphone that doesn't come with any plastic. You have an aluminum frame, which is the same color as the backside, which is protected by Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2. By the way, the glass front has the same protection level. As for the backside, you will definitely see some of your fingerprints, but it is not as bad as on other smartphones. The fingerprints mostly disappear after a second and only leave a small mark. The triple camera looks just like on every other Samsung smartphone, and you have a 50 megapixel main camera. There is a 10 megapixel telephoto and a 12 megapixel ultra wide angle camera. Next we got the display and the audio, and the Samsung Galaxy S25 has a 6.2 inch LTPO AMOLED 2X display with HDR10 Plus and a peak brightness of 2600 nits, which is decent. It also has a 120Hz display, which makes everything look super smooth, but you can also trim it down to just 60Hz like with many other smartphones. You also have some interesting display features with the S25. First up, you can cover up the selfie camera cutout, so instead of having a small black dot on top of your display, you can have a whole black bar right here instead. You have the eye comfort shield, adaptive color tones, and you can change the screen mode from vivid to natural, and right here you can also change the color temperature. Two really cool features are the accidental touch protection, which protects the phone from accidental touches, like if you have the phone in your pockets, and the other one is the touch sensitivity. Some people have a super thick screen protector on the display, and by increasing the touch sensitivity, you can balance it out a little bit. Now the S25 has a screen to body ratio of about 91%. It has a resolution of 1080p by 2340 pixel, and like this you can watch your favorite YouTube clips without a problem. Colors look great and you have a good contrast. And just the display brightness could be a little bit better, but it's still good enough for most situations. For the audio, the S25 has a pair of stereo speakers. They are slightly less loud than last year, but it's still pretty decent. The sound seems richer now with a little bit more bass. So the Galaxy S25 has a 4000 mAh battery, just like the one from last year. Now in continuous gaming, this phone lasts about 7.5 hours, and it will last up to 17 hours on continuous video streaming, which is pretty good for a 4000 mAh battery. The S25 also supports 25 watt wired, 15 watts wireless and 4.5 watt reverse wireless charging, and a full charge takes about 75 minutes, which is pretty much normal. Next, let's talk about the features, and Samsung promises up to 7 years of OS and 7 years of security updates, and then you can grab this phone with either 128, 256 or 512 gigs of internal storage, and all come with 12 gigs of RAM. If I pull up the storage settings on my 128 gig version, we see that about 21 gigs are already used up by the system, which is quite a lot in comparison to your overall storage capacity. On the S25, you of course get an under-display fingerprint sensor, which works really well in all of my tries, and also the face detection is doing a very good job. The main difference to the older S24 are all of the AI features. I already did a video in which I show all of them, and you will find this one down below in the description. The first AI features that I have for you are the photo editing features. With these ones, you can erase and resize objects that you have on your pictures. Just draw a box around the object that you want to change, and once you did that, you can grab the object by the corners and make it larger, make it smaller, or twist it upside down, and then you can also just straight up delete it from the picture. The S24 also has the AI summary and translate feature. As soon as you open up a text article, you can press on the little star icon on the bottom end of your display, and right here you can translate the text. It can create a quick summary for you, and it can actually read the text for you. Of course, you will get some normal stuff like a one-handed mode, different gesture controls, and there's the Edge panel, which I really like a lot, since you have a quick access to many of your favorite apps and games. This phone also comes with an AOD mode and many other AI features. There's the audio eraser, which eliminates distracting noises in your videos. You have the AI interpreter, which is a live translation feature. And then you have the Now Briefing, which is pretty similar to the Garmin Morning Briefing. It will show you the weather for the day, but you can also include stuff like moments, news, traffic updates, and many more things. By the way, if you like this video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. You will also find the link to the smartphone down below in the description. As for the gaming and the performance, the Galaxy S25 runs on a new Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite, and just like with every phone that runs on that chipset, everything you do on this phone runs very smoothly. You can open up multiple apps in your split view, or you can open up floating windows while you're watching some movies on YouTube, and also while you're playing your games. It has no problems with it. Like always, I hopped on Genshin Impact and tried the highest graphics settings with 60 FPS, and again was running smooth. You can have massive battles, watch the sunset, or just casually walk around the town, and you will always have a steady frame rate with only a few dips here and there. It also has a game mode with a performance mode, which you should definitely enable. You can take screenshots during your games. There's a touch booster and a touch protection. You can open up apps in the floating windows, and I would also definitely block the edge panel, as this one just gets in the way. Lastly, we have the camera, and the S25 comes with a 50 megapixel main camera with optical image stabilization. There's a 10 megapixel telephoto with 3x optical zoom, and then we have a 12 megapixel auto wide angle camera, and with those cameras you can shoot videos in 8K and 30 FPS. On the front side, we have a 12 megapixel camera which can shoot videos in 4K and 60 FPS. As for the camera modes, right here you will find a portrait and a night mode. You have a pro mode for videos and pictures, hyperlapse, portrait video, and many more. Now during the day, photos look good with good amount of detail, wide dynamic range, and poppy colors. Just the sharpness is a bit underwhelming, as you get other smartphones in this price range which will do a little bit better. The 3x telephoto cam produces decent daytime photos, which match the main camera's processing in terms of colors and contrast, but once again the sharpness and the finer detail level is not that great. When it comes to the ultra wide angle camera, it seems like they are definitely not as good as the ones that you can take with your main camera. The detail and sharpness level isn't that great, but at least colors pretty much stay the same. Lastly, we have the selfie camera, and this one is doing a good job, just like the one from last year. I really like the autofocus, you have a good depth of field, you get natural looking skin tones, nice colors, and wide dynamic range. And also the detail level isn't that bad. And guys, there we have it. So I guess I will see you in the next one. Peace.